introduce you to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Do you remember back in the day when you would come home from school or work or whatever, you would grab your Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck and go duel your friends for hours and hours until they're all left in the Shadow Realm? What if I told you you could still do that today, anywhere, whenever you want? Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Academy, which is a series where I'll be teaching you how to become king of games in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Master Duel is the closest experience to a physical card game that a fan can play. The game is pretty deep and complex, and it could be considered one of the most mechanically involved digital card games on the market. But the best part about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is the game engine makes the card interactions so easy to understand that literally anyone can do it. The game looks great, it's really fun to watch because of all the beautiful animations available. And on top of that, because of how the interactions and the flow of the cards pop up as you duel, it makes it pretty easy to keep up with. Master Duel gives you access to the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG digitally anywhere at any time, and the best part, it's free and it's available on everything from the PlayStation to Xbox to PC, Nintendo Switch, and mobile phones. Oh, did I mention crossplay and cross progress? Meaning if you get it on PC, you can still play on your phone, your Xbox, and your PlayStation, and it's all the same account, and you can duel anybody regardless of which platform they're using. With a dynamic soundtrack and HD graphics, this is the definitive edition of the competitive card game that has been evolving over 25 years. And just in case you haven't played the game in a while or you're new to it, here's the best part. It's available for anyone at any skill level. And as soon as you log into the game, you'll be given a deck to start your journey. I think the first thing you need to know is the different card types available in Yu-Gi-Oh! The first one, of course, being monster cards, which you'll use to attack your opponent. Spell cards, which you use to power up your field to gain advantage of your opponent. And finally, you have trap cards, which as it sounds, your opponent will walk into your traps that you set up to further get you closer to victory. But I should also mention that with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, every single card has a different type. So for example, Dark Magician, one of the most famous monsters in all Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a spellcaster. You also have dragons, you have fiends, you have cybers, you have the new illusion class. Based on the different types that you play, they all have different synergies if you play them together. Essentially, that's what you want to do when you deck build. But it's a whole other conversation that we'll talk about when we get to that. So first things first, to kind of explain how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works as a game, we got to introduce the zones. When you look at the field, you'll notice all these different squares, and to kind of explain what they do, this is basically where you'll be playing all your cards. The row in the bottom is a spell and trap zone, and just as it sounds, this is where you play your spell and trap cards. The middle is the main monster zone, and this is where you'll be playing most of your monster cards. And right above that, you have the extra monster zone where you'll be link summoning as well as playing certain cards from the extra deck. The first time you link summon, you get to choose one of these. The one on the left is your field spell zone where you'll be able to play whatever field spell is available in your deck. If you look on the right side, you'll have two more little spaces, which are not squares, but this is where your graveyard will go and your banishment. Of course, don't forget your main aspect of your deck, of course, your deck as well. Also at the extra deck, which is located on the left side as well, and this is where all your special summon extra deck monsters will be located. Now the first question that might come to mind is what deck do you want to play, especially in a game that's over 25 years old and has over 10,000 cards? Where does one even begin? It's very easy to get overwhelmed with all the cards available, but honestly, my advice to anybody that picks this game up, whether you're new, you're returning, or you're just a current player, is to find that one deck you want to play and then further improve it to make it better. For example, if you're feeling nostalgic, you can pick up a structured deck based around Dark Magician and then craft and customize it to your own liking. And when it comes down to customizing and adding on to your deck, you can actually go to the shop and open up normal packs or secret packs. Normal packs will consist of new sets that will rotate in and out as new cards are released, and the secret pack will be unlocked upon crafting a specific card available for your theme. And once you craft a specific card, the secret pack will be available for up to 24 hours and will allow you to actually pull for cards needed to build the perfect deck to go along with the theme you're going for. Meanwhile, as new themes and new cards are released into the game, they'll be available for a limited amount of time as selection packs. Now, of course, in order to get access to these packs, you'll have to use gems, which you simply obtain by playing the game. Whether you're playing ranked, doing the monthly events, any way of playing the game will reward you with gems. Did I mention dailies? You can also earn various gems and rewards to further improve your decks. Speaking of rewards, there's also a Duel Pass available that you can either access by just having a regular Duel Pass, or you can upgrade to a gold one. Now, the best part about the Duel Pass is you don't even have to purchase it. By simply playing the game, you gain access to various rewards and crafting points, which you can then use to craft more cards that will perfect your deck. But also you can gain access to the Gold Pass for 600 gems, which also allows you to gain even more rewards and go up to level 100. And you can unlock things such as mates, more crafting points, more gems, and everything needed to build the perfect deck to get you to master rank. Pretty much as long as you plan on playing the game, there's no reason that you shouldn't get the Gold Pass in my opinion. That's also going to vary from player to player. Now the question is how do you actually play? What are the different phases? When can I attack? What is the main phase 2? How is it different than main phase 1? Let me explain. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to enter the draw phase, unless of course you go first. The first 5 cards you open up with is how you're going to start your combo. However, when you go second, you'll draw first, and then you go into your standby phase and then your main phase. Now the main phase is where you're going to be doing most of your combos initially. set up a powerful board. You want to get monsters that can stop your opponent's plays. You got to keep an eye out for what cards they might have in their hand as well. And you're going to try to build the best board possible. Assuming you can have a battle phase, once your board is ready, you can enter the battle phase and you can start attacking your opponent. It's important to know that once you're in the battle phase, you cannot activate monster effects unless they're quick effects and they're able to be activated, and normal spell cards. As far as traps, you can activate traps as long as they're set in the previous turn, and quick plays, as long as they weren't set that turn or they're in your hand, will be playable during this moment. But the whole purpose of battle phase, as it sounds, is to battle. You want to attack your opponent with the goal of reducing their life points to 0 to win the duel. Once you finish with the battle phase, you can go into main phase 2, and the whole purpose of the main phase 2 is to do any more preparations for the next turn to further slow your opponent down from beating you. It is important to also note that you only get one battle phase per turn, unless of course there's specific cards that allow you to have an extra one. And once you enter main phase 2, you will no longer be able to have another battle phase that turn. And finally, once your main phase is finished, you go into the end phase where your opponent will have one last action that they can do before they start their turn. Now, something important to point out that a lot of people might not know is I came back to Yu-Gi-Oh! With the release of Master Duel. Meaning the last time I actually played the game was when Yugi and Kaiba were dueling on TV. And I'll be honest, with all the different mechanics that exist since those days, I actually didn't have any issues learning the game all over again by simply playing Master Duel. And of course, one of my favorite aspects, period, is the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel has crossplay and cross progress. So whether you play on your phone, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and it saves your progress across all devices. Now, obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has evolved a lot over the course of the last 25 years, but I'm hoping with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Academy, I can show you that anybody can pick the game up, whether you're new to the game or you grew up with it and you haven't played in a while and you're ready to come back. Trust me, it's a lot easier than you think. Step 1, you first have to download the game, build your deck, and start your journey. If you're still nervous and you want to learn more about the game, the next video I'll break down all the mechanics you need to know so you become king of games, and then join me in the master rank of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.